Okay, and injury-wise, nothing of significance to update. We'll see kind of over the next day or so what it ends up looking like. Will came out of the game for the time being okay. There wasn't anything that, obviously from the side, just a little bit of pain, but I don't see anything hopeful that that's not anything more than what it was in the game, and we should be good. But again, we'll let a couple days go by. Harold obviously came out of the game and came back, so he was good. And we'll see where the guys that missed the game are at this week too. Hopefully we'll get Roger back this week, but we'll see where that ends up. So some of that, play calling wise, those are things that I look at all the time, and how do we best put guys in better position, and how do we give things to Will that we can go execute. It's generally speaking from the 10-yard line to you try to get yourself into a spot, with a fresh set of downs inside the 10-yard line. You want to be in goal to go spots. You've got 4 shots to get the ball in the end zone, and we've done that a couple times. We need to do more of it. We've had probably a lack of attempts overall over the course of the season. But yeah, there's things that we can do schematically. There's things that we got to do better execution-wise. But all things that I can do a better job of down there. From a play calling perspective.
To be, and that in the past that has led to bad things.
Yeah, I don't think it affects my confidence. I think this. This is not it's not a very forgiving job. It's not one for the faint of heart. There's a lot of things that you have to be supremely confident in yourself. You have to be supremely confident in what you're doing every day, and it's very, very, very challenging, especially when things aren't going well. But I don't ever waver in what I believe. I don't waver in what I think is the right things to do, and that's all I can really control. And if you let your confidence dip, that's usually where things can go wrong. You have to find ways to pick yourself up. You got to get back to work. You got to dust yourself off, and you go attack again. And that's really the only way you can survive in this league. And the patience part is what it is. It's a results-based business, and I fully understand that. And that's just the way it's always been and always will be. So. You just keep attacking it every week, and you keep doing the things that you believe in, and you keep pushing forward and try to get things to turn. And as far as the process goes, I told this exact same thing to the team this morning, that these 4 games are very important for us. They're important games, and even though we're out of playoff contention and there's nothing to play for in the postseason, these are important games for what we're trying to set for the future. And there's a time and a place to be honest, and today was one of them where, look, the season isn't what we want it to be. But there's a lot of things that I believe in our process and how we go about our business, the type of things that we do, and there's a lot of examples across the tape in that game even of what it's supposed to look like. And that's where I trust in what we do and how we do it, and I made it very clear to the players too that that's all those things are good. We're doing things the right way. We haven't seen the results we needed to see. We've lost some close games. We've lost games that I felt like we've been in position to win and haven't made a play or two to win. But I still think you always go back to when you're trying to build a foundation for what's going to be hopefully sustainable success in the future. These things all matter. Every bit of it matters. And how we play these games matters. How we finish the season matters. How we practice every day still matters. We got a lot of young players. We got people that are going to be here. Every year you change your roster, but there's a lot of players here that are going to be here for 2025, and it's a huge part of getting ready to continue to build for what comes next. And I think it's okay to be honest about that and say that, but that's a huge part of what these next 4 games are, is continue to try to set the foundation for what's expected in the future, and try to continue to build on what I think are a lot of really good and positive things from a process standpoint and a people standpoint that I think will lead to wins and success moving forward. And the loss was tough to swallow. There was a lot of things, and I know maybe the choice of words, something being positive in a 10-6 loss, I get that that's not well received. But I challenged the team to do a lot of things in this game the night before the game, really sort of across the board at all positions. And they really answered the bell in a lot of the phases and a lot of the things I challenged them on. And that part to me was really encouraging because to do the things that were asked and rise to the occasion in a lot of areas that I asked from them was something that was positive to me. And at the end of the day, how do you have so many positive things over the course of the game? You hold a team to 0 points through 3 quarters. It's our second lowest rushing total defensively that we've allowed. We rushed for 126 yards and 5 a carry. We had 4 penalties. We had 2 turnovers. We didn't turn the ball over. We were 50% on third down. I mean, there was all these things that would point to a game that you should have a chance to win. And we had chances, but the difference was for us in the game is we had really, let's call it 4 critical plays offensively that we needed to execute in a critical moment, and we did not. And that's the difference in the game. It's a game that had a chance to be a 20-10 game if we execute at best. If all the things work in our favor, that's where you end up. But we didn't do a good enough job in those critical moments of making the plays that are necessary to win a tight game. And that's the hardest part for me is to sit here and watch the tape and see so many things that I asked of our team and they delivered on, and then to see that we just, at the end of the day, it comes down to 3 or 4 plays in critical moments that we didn't execute. And that's hard because I think that we're still trying to build a program. We're still trying to build something that's sustainable, that we can try to continue to improve on. And I look for the things that would show me that that's happening. And those are the things that I concern myself with, on top of obviously winning the football game. But there's a lot of other things that I have to look at and judge and determine where's good and where isn't, and where has to be improved. So that's ultimately where I've come after reflection and watching. Yeah, those things are all, that's accurate. I mean, 2 turnovers and the way the defense played and only have 6 points certainly is something that I'm just as irritated about as I'm sure they are. Yeah, and then, look, when you're out in the playoff contention and you're trying to fight, there is an element that guys do. This is their job. They are paid professionals. Their job is to play football. My job is to coach it. That's a part of it, and it ultimately, like I said earlier, these next 4 games are important for us. They're important for what comes next. They're important for the type of foundation and culture we're trying to continue to build, and we're trying to set ourselves up to do things the right way. So when we come back in the next phase of this, that we're in a better place than we were when we started, and that's the idea. Outside of that, that's football. I mean, guys, your film is your resume. They have to play well because some of these guys are looking for new contracts. They're on 1-year contracts. That's all part of it. So I don't take any issue with that. I don't look at that as splintering at all. I do think one of the strengths of our team is the way that they do stick together and do play for each other, and do things the right way in that regard. So all a part of it when you get to this point in the season, and you are where we're at. But I got a lot of confidence in those guys and the way that they go about their business and how connected they've been over the course of this season despite the adversity. So I feel really good about our locker room and where they are. Again, they should be frustrated just as much as I am. It's just the next game. I don't have it's different when you're, it's not like it's a job that you got let go from or you have any animosity towards. I have a lot of respect for everybody in that building, the players, the coaches, and it was a lot of really formative time for me. It was a really fun time to be a part of that organization. We built a pretty awesome product during my time there. And I want to win every game, just like I do, no matter who it is. A lot of respect, but doesn't factor in. It doesn't motivate me to go do anything different, because again, I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody in that place, and I certainly want to win the game. I don't want to beat them, but it doesn't. My approach and my perspective on it is that it's still just a game that I want to play well and have a chance to go win.